Time having arrived, it's 1 o'clock on Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025. We are in the Mayor Bill Carpenter Executive Boardroom on the first floor of 45 Garden Road, Manning Towers, Brockton, Mass. 02301. This is a special session of the Board of Commissioners. This is also a public hearing, and all are invited to attend either in person or on Zoom. Also included in our agenda is the hearing of visitors section. Please note that all of our board meetings are recorded. This meeting has been posted at City Hall and also on our website. We are in compliance with the 48-hour rule. We are in compliance with the 48-hour notice. I am going to call a roll quorum. Timothy J. Sullivan, Chair, is here. Vice Chair Ernest Bedford is sick. Member Janet R. Trask?
Here.
Treasurer Cal Roberts?
Here.
Assistant Treasurer Taylor Harris?
Here.
We have a quorum. Most of our monthly meetings are held on the last Thursday of the month, unless there's a need for a special. That will be posted. Some of our members are present in person, some are on Zoom. Because of this, all of our votes will be done by roll call. You are hereby given notice that the members of the Brockton Housing Authority are called to meet in a special session on Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025 at 1 p.m. in the Mayor Bill Carpenter Executive Boardroom, Manning Tower, 45 Garden Road, first floor, Brockton, Mass. 02301. I'm going to read off the governor's memo on the COVID-19. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and state of emergency, on March 12, 2020, Governor Baker issued an executive order temporarily suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Laws, Chapter 38, Section 20. Pursuant to the order, public bodies are temporarily relieved from the open meeting law's requirements that meetings be held in public places, open and physically accessible to the public, so long as measures are taken to ensure public access to the body's deliberations through adequate and alternative means. That was extended on April 1st, 2021, extended again on April 1st, 2022, extended again July 1st, 2022, extended again July 15th, 2022, extended again to March 31st, 2023 by Governor Baker, and to March 31st, 2025 by Governor Healy, also extended to June 30th, 2027 by Governor Healy. This meeting/hearing of the Brockton Housing Authority will be held in person at the location provided on this notice. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting/hearing will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with particular interest in any specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. The public is invited to view and/or listen to the meeting via phone, computer, laptop, or tablet. To do so, download the Zoom Cloud Meeting app in any app store or at www.zoom.us at 1 p.m. on April 23rd, 2025. Click on and join the meeting and enter the meeting ID number 850-7419-4444, passcode 209952, or use the link http://zoom.us/i/850-741-9444. You may also join by calling the conference line at 1-646-558-8656 at 1 p.m. on April 23rd, 2025, and enter the meeting ID 850-741-94444, passcode 209952, followed by the pound sign. The board chair will instruct participants on the appropriate time and manner for public comment during this meeting. If we could all please rise. If you can, remove your hats and silence your phones for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Mr. Tebow.
Commissioner Trask,
Here.
Commissioner Harris,
Yep.
Commissioner Roberts,
Here.
Mr. Chairman.
Here. Item 2, approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of March 27th, 2025. Exhibit A in your packets. Mr. Tebow.
I have reviewed the minutes and found them to be in order. I would recommend that they be approved as written.
So move.
We need a motion and a second.
Second.
Tom, was there a motion made? I didn't hear it.
Motion was made by Commissioner Roberts. Commissioner Trask seconded the motion.
The motion has been made by Commissioner Carol Roberts, seconded by Commissioner Janet Trask. The motion is to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of March 27, 2025 as written. Any discussion or questions on the motion? Hearing none. Roll call, Mr. Tebow.
Commissioner Harris,
Yes.
Commissioner Trask,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries. Unanimous. Item 3, hearing of visitors. Any member of the public is invited to speak before the board. Visitors wishing to be heard must sign in with the name, address, and contact number before the start of the meeting. Each visitor will be allowed 3 minutes to speak on each subject. The board will take any issue under advisement and respond at a later date. Total time for the hearing of visitors will be limited to 15 minutes, which will be strictly enforced. There will be no passing your 3 minutes to another. All visitors can be heard on agenda items only. Is there any hearing of visitors?
Mr. Chairman, we do not have anybody signed in the room. We do have one guest. I don't know if they want to make comment. No, we have no visitors who would like to be heard, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, move right on to item 4, correspondence. Mr. Tebow?
There are 2 pieces of correspondence in your packet. The one is a letter from the Department of Public Utilities. As you know, we were working under an order to bring us into compliance with an executive consent order with the master meter regulations. Mr. Barry and Mr. DeChristopher worked on this issue for a couple of years. They were very good at getting it done. We can now close this matter for the areas identified. The letter is very specific to say that if they feel that other areas need to be addressed, they can do that in the future. But this is very good news. I believe the fine was $10,000 a day for not being compliant with the consent order. So that this is done. The second item is about emergency housing vouchers. This is a bit of bad news. So during COVID, the Biden administration issued vouchers under a special program called emergency housing vouchers. And it was for people who were homeless or who are about to become homeless. And the Brockton Housing Authority received 31 of them. We leased them up very quickly. We currently have 30. They expected the funding to last through to 2035. It's run out or running out. They are now anticipating that it will run out in 2026. That means we have to anticipate in the next 18 months or so how to accommodate these people unless we want to put them on the street, which we do not want to do. The negative part of that is we don't have any room in our regular program, so the only way to do that is through attrition. So as people move off the program, it will free up space. That means we cannot issue new vouchers. For every voucher that we issue, we will be making one of these families homeless. I'll keep you up to date on it, but it's not good news. The Section 8 program overall is having difficulty keeping up with this real estate market. It's just, it's growing. It's getting too expensive. As many of you know, if you're renting an apartment or if you're trying to buy a house, it's just too expensive for many people, and including the Section 8 program. But I wanted to bring that to the attention of the board.
Any questions or discussion on the correspondence by anybody?
No.
Pretty sad.
It is, I
Yes,
think, very tough times for low income and moderate income families in this country. But I'm not an expert. I hope I'm wrong.
Tom, I just have one question on the DPU letter about the gas lines.
Yeah.
Is there, the pipelines? Is there a fee involved in this
Yes, so I
right
believe
now?
it was $11,000, and you would approve these contracts. $11,000 or approximately that for Rainbow Terrace, and about $200,000 for Bel Air Heights, Earl Street. The Bel Air Earl Street was paid for by the capital fund. The money for Rainbow Terrace was paid for out of special funds from HLC, or was it from the CIP, Chris? In-house, Michael? In-house?
In-house.
It was paid for money we didn't have.
Remember the state.
Yeah, well, the state is well aware of it. We were talking about getting reimbursement, so we'll go a little further with that.
And just one question on the HUD letter. Is there a chance that these Section 8 vouchers will come back at a later time?
Congress could do that, Mr. Chairman. Yes, they could. Congress was the people who authorized the original amount. Right now, there does not seem to be a want for that. We have a relatively small number. California has a huge number of these, and they're worried about, a huge uptick in homelessness in California. Obviously, Boston has more than us. We have a plan, and Chris Lane, Bonnie has been working to make sure that we will have room in the budget, but there are things beyond her control in that area also.
Tom, do we have to vote on the correspondence and accept it, or?
Nope, it's just for your information.
Okay, moving on to item 5, if anybody has any questions. Approval of the bills of the special meeting of April 23rd, 2025. Exhibit B in your packets. Commissioner Roberts.
Thank you. I have reviewed the bills with Tom and a couple of questions, but they were answered properly. So I move to accept the bills as is.
So moved.
Second,
A motion has been made by Commissioner Carol Roberts, seconded by Commissioner Taylor Harris. Motion is to approve the bills for the special meeting of April 23rd, 2025, as written and presented. Any discussion or question on the motion? Hearing none. Roll call, Tebow.
Commissioner Harris,
Yes.
Commissioner Trask,
yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Item 6, appointment of 2 home ownership leasing agents. Exhibit C in your packets. Mr. Tebow.
If I could ask Mr. Plouffe to speak on this, please.
Thank you, Mr. Tebow. Members of the board. We have 2 openings right now in the Rental Assistance Department, Section 8 Department. One is from the resignation of Pat Mullen, and one is from the retirement of we're gonna call her Patty D, because that's how she goes by in section 8.
Yeah.
Patricia DeGrossley is. We reviewed a number of resumes. Chris Bonnie, myself, and the office manager, Crystal Guerra. We interviewed 6 candidates. After the interviews, we brought back 2. The 2 young ladies here for a second interview, Karen Judy and Raina Burnett. Ms. Judy worked many years in the banking industry, which you can see from her resume, in roles of increasing responsibility. And in talking with her during her 2 interviews, it was clear that her work at the bank gave her the experience necessary to fill this role. Her customer service and ability to deal with the public, her attention to detail, her work with numbers, are all things that the Section 8 department requires. She has her master's degree in business administration and is bilingual in English and Haitian Creole. Ms. Burnett has worked at the housing authority, at the post office downtown for a number of years. And again, this experience working at the counter at the post office is very, very busy and very challenging. Many of the same clientele we deal with. But she also works in the back room where is a lot of attention to detail. She is currently pursuing her bachelor's online in computer science. I contacted references for both of these candidates and both had glowing references, and each said that they would hire them again if they have the chance.
If I could just add, as you know, when we go through this process, I meet with the candidates, not about the technical parts of the job, but about what type of people they are and what type of worker they are. Both were very impressive. I might have mentioned this to you. You aren't not required to live in Brockton, but we do prefer to hire people from Brockton. So both of our candidates today are currently living in the city. Which is always nice, so you know the community. Again, it's not a requirement, but we do prefer it. I look for people who have a good work ethic and can work well with others. Both impressed me, and I want to let you know personally, both of you impressed me during those conversations. So I have no doubt that they will be a great candidates for this. As you know, it's a big office. If you've seen it, there's a number of people in a very busy place, so working well together is important. And you have a wonderful leadership team down there, so I can recommend them without hesitation.
No, who would?
Perfect. We need a motion and a second. Item 6.
So moved?
Second.
Okay.
You have a question?
Yeah, was that?
A motion has been made by,
Mr. Chairman.
seconded by,
Mr. Chairman. Commissioner Roberts has a question.
No, I was just asking who the ladies were, so I've seen your face before.
Just now.
Yeah, yeah. And
I'm
you,
Marina.
and you worked in the post office? God bless you. You're welcome. Okay, and you are the one who is going to school for computer science?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm impressed, because I took that course many years ago, a lot different today. You'll make it.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's very impressive that one already has her master's and the other is soon to get her bachelor's degree, which is very, very nice.
Hang in there in the computer science, because I went to Wentworth.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I drove by there Monday, going to the Red Sox game.
Oh. And it's in school. I'm done. Mr. Chairman.
You can say it loud.
okay. Motion has been made by Commissioner Janet Trask, seconded by Commissioner Taylor Harris, The motion is to appoint Corinne Judy of Brockton to the position of home ownership leasing agent effective April 28, 2025, and Raina Burnett of Brockton to the position of home ownership leasing agent effective May 12, 2025, each at the step one rate of $46,790 per annum. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Harris,
Yes.
Commissioner Trask,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries unanimous. I used to say this all from memory, and sometimes I forget and mistake certain things. So from now on, I just read the statement. This is for all new employees, employees who transfer to different departments and promotions, or people who just come back to the BHA. Let me thank you for wanting to work for the Brockton Housing Authority, one of the best jobs in Brockton, in my opinion. We own 2,100 apartments in Brockton and administer over 2,500 rental assistance aid vouchers. This is not an easy job. We, the Board of Commissioners and the executive team, put our residents first. They are our number one priority. Without them, we don't need me, this board, the buildings, or the staff. Please remember to treat our residents with respect. We also say that anyone can have a bad day, be a little sharp or argumentative for no apparent reason. If this should happen to you, please smile and walk away. Don't argue. We can all strive to be a better person. If you can do this, you will go far in this agency. I am very glad to meet you and welcome you to the team. This board meets once a month in this room on many different subjects. Please feel free to attend if one of these items is of interest to you. Welcome aboard. I'm sorry I can't shake your hand. I'm 1,500 miles away.
And Mr. Chairman, if I may be excused, I need to take the two candidates to the Personnel Department to do some paperwork.
Welcome to both of
You
you.
always do.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Item 7, authorization for the executive director to sign contracts of financial assistance, CFAs, Exhibit D in your packets. Mr. Tebow?
So each year, when the state gives us more money for whatever, there's a number of programs they give us money for, a resident service coordinator program, for our subsidy. The board has to approve a contract of financial assistance. They've now gone to a DocuSign system, which makes things easier, right? It is horrible. They get lost. They send them to myself and the chairman, but they cannot be signed until the board meets. Once the board meets, they've expired, and getting it back is almost impossible. We're months and months and months behind on signing these contract of financial assistance. So what I'm asking for is the authority of the board to sign them. I will bring them to you for your information, but it's a regular business, and it's been recommended by Mass Narrow and by HLC to get this authorization because the system is really shut down using the electronic system.
Yeah.
We need a motion and a second, item 7.
So move.
Second.
A motion has been made by Commissioner Carol Roberts, seconded by Commissioner Taylor Harris. Motion is to authorize the executive director to sign contracts for financial assistance, CFAs, from the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Harris,
Yes.
Commissioner Trask,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Item 8, approval of Brockton Housing Authority's long-term recapitalization plan, Exhibit E in your packets. Mr. Tebow?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Before I jump into this, I just want to mention to the board, today, tomorrow, the rest of this week, we will be speaking to equity partners for the Campello project. We have, it's a request for proposal process. We will be selecting one who will be capitalizing our tax credit award for about $36 to $39 million as the negotiations go on. That, once we choose someone, the board needs to approve. And to meet our deadline to get to the July board meeting, we need the board to approve that sometime mid-May. So it's not I don't have a specific time, but I would like to know if you are available on Thursday, May 15th. If you have any time available that day. Commissioner Sullivan, you had said that you had an appointment at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, the dentist, yes. I'm free after that, anytime.
Okay. Commissioner Harris, are you available anytime that day?
I'm open after 2 o'clock.
After 2 o'clock, okay. Commissioner Trask?
Sorry, just looking at my calendar. Yeah, I think any time is fine.
Okay, how about, well, I'll put down 2:30. It'll be a single item to vote on. It would be the award of contract for an equity partner or something of that language. It will be written by an attorney. We have a couple of attorneys representing us. It's fairly complicated, but thank you very much. I will keep you up to date. Things are twisting and turning by the minute in this. So what I have in front of you is a different way to provide affordable public housing. And it's a long-term plan to recapitalize. And what that means is to invest in our properties so they're not just meeting the minimum needs of the minimum code compliance. It all hedges upon what we do in Campello. Because when we're successful with Campello, that frees up our federal authority to federalize our state buildings. And that means that they would get more subsidy, they would get more capital money, and we would also do something similar to what we're doing at Campello, at Kennedy Drive, Rainbow Terrace, Golden Circle, probably less to the extent, but we're doing upgrades up at Crosby Gardens, Washburn Heights. I have the plan in front of you. I believe it's probably 10 or 11 pages. What we need is the local elected officials to understand how important what we do today is to the next 15, 20, 25 years. If we're successful today, that will set a track for us to rehabilitate our entire portfolio. So again, so that we're not just patching holes and meeting minimum standards, because that's what we're doing today, especially in our state developments. The Housing Authority has been very creative. We've used energy service contracts 3 times. We used it to replace our elevators. So with water savings and paying for our elevators, we were the first housing authority to do pooled bond financing. That's how we renovated Crescent Court. We have done solar fields. That money is saving us that we're using to reinvest into our properties. It's just not keeping up. This will allow for us to do substantial rehabilitation, change the way it performs, change the management of it. And what I mean by that is right now, we do not put money away for the future. That's not how it's funded. Under the new Campello and the new way we will capitalize, there will be reserves that are required to be put in so that you can recapitalize. In 30 years, you know you're going to need a new roof. You know you're going to need to replace windows. You know plumbing is going to be leaking. You know kitchens and baths are going to need to be replaced. If you have rugs, they need to be replaced every 7 to 10 years. That does not exist the way we are today. This plan looks to make affordable housing better in Brockton. So as Brockton revitalizes, we want our portfolio to revitalize. Just imagine Kennedy Drive. That's a beautiful lot of land looking out on the school there. taking all those buildings, tearing them down and building something that looks more like Crosby Gardens. Something that you go 3 or 4 floors, it's elevated. You take an elevator up so that you don't have half the units with people who have to walk upstairs. You would have nice grounds there. You could keep the community room. It's a beautiful community room. It would stay right there. So we could do the same thing with Rainbow Terrace. Golden Circle is in need of a great deal of improvements that we can't afford to do right now. We're just doing on an emergency case basis. So what I'm asking here is the board, I want you to read this. This is important because I will be going around. That's what I'm asking for, is your blessing to go around and speak to our elected officials. That would mean the mayor, the councilors, our representatives, our state senators, our congressperson, our federal senators, and saying to them, this is what we need to move into the future for the Brockton Housing Authority.
I did read it.
We need a motion and a second, item 8.
So move.
Second.
A motion has been made by Commissioner Carol Roberts, seconded by Commissioner Taylor Harris. Motion is to approve the Brockton Housing Authority's long-term recapitalization plan in concept. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Harris,
Yes.
Commissioner Trask,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Oh, yes.
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries unanimous.
Thank
You
you.
got our
Tom.
blessing, Tom.
Tom, could you give us a little spiel to say to people, condensed form of what we're trying to push here?
So let me think about that and get back to you. One of the criticisms that I had from Mr. Pluff was there's a lot of inside baseball here. This is, I boiled it down to a form, but let me see if I can come up with a 1-page or 2 back paragraphs, something like that.
Okay.
I think you call it your elevator speech.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you. I will do that. I will work on that because I think it's important that when you're out and you do run into people and they bring it up, that you can, respond in a simple form that the public would understand what we're trying to do.
Okay. Thank you.
Item 9. Approval of revision number 1 to the fiscal year 2025 state operating budget 400C program, Exhibit F in your packets. Mr. Tebow?
I'll ask Mr. Pacious to speak on this in a moment, but this is a revision to our budget required because of something the state did, and I'll let Mr. Pacious explain that. But I will need the signatures of Commissioner Harris and Commissioner Trask. I'm going to be asking, Michael might be asking Richard Gosher to contact you and see if he can get together and have it signed. So if I could ask Mr. Pacious to speak.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Tebow. So the 2 line items that we're changing here are the maintenance material line item on the state program. We're increasing that line item by $79,917. And the maintenance contract cost line item, we're increasing that an additional $400,000.
I just want to jump in.
Yeah.
We're not increasing anything. This is the budget you approved and the HLC unilaterally reduced. I don't know why. You approved it with the higher numbers. The one that we're asking you to reapprove now, that's what you approved in December. They took a pencil and lined out what you approved and made it lower, and we're saying, no, that's not right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, according to what I was told, it was a clerical error. But in any event, we still had to go through the same process that we would for revisions. So that's basically what you're voting on, is the increase on those 2 line items to bring them back to the original amount that you had voted on back in December.
We need a motion and a second, item 9.
So moved?
Carol, was that you for a second, Carol?
Yes,
A motion has been made by Commissioner Janet Trask, seconded by Commissioner Carol Roberts. Motion is to approve revision number 1 to the fiscal year 2025 state operating budget 400-C programs as presented for the fiscal year ending December 31, 2025. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Harris,
Yes.
Commissioner Trask,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
yes,
Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Item 10, review of financial comparatives, Exhibit G in your packets. Mr. Tebow?
If I could ask Mr. Pacius to speak on this, please?
Thank you, Mr. Tebow. What you have in front of you is the comparatives for the first 2 months of our fiscal year 2025. They look a little different than what you're used to seeing. Some of the programs have multiple pages, where in the past we were able to fit everything on one page. Overall, the organization is doing as expected with regard to, what we put in the budget and so forth. The 689-1 program has a $7,500 deficit, but that was due to some unforeseen costs that had to do with alarms and replacements. So the state program is running on a small surplus, but it needs to do better in order to keep up with what we've budgeted. So.
Just one question, Michael, on the Section 8 mainstream vouchers, is a deficit of $5,000?
Yeah, that's due because they didn't send us administrative fee money. Every month they'll send us an amount based on the vouchers that we've leased. So that's the cause of that deficit, and we'll get that money before the end of the year.
Okay. We need a motion and a second, item 10.
So moved.
Second?
A motion has been made by Commissioner Taylor Harris, seconded by Commissioner Janet Trask. Motion to accept the financial comparatives for the period ending February 28, 2025, and put on file. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Harris,
Yes.
Commissioner Trask,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
yes,
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Item 11. Approval of 2025 MRVP income limits, Exhibit H in your packets. Mr. Tebow?
Mr. Fluff, are you going to speak on this?
I will, I can.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tebow, members of the board. For the next 3 items, I'll be saying exactly pretty much the same thing. Every year, HUD sets limits on who can come into our program based upon the census survey, the ACS. And it has to do with the median income in Brockton. And so then they go with 60%, 30%, 80%. So when you hear about affordable housing downtown, not our projects, they're at 80% of area median income. And so HUD publishes these guidelines every year. And then that's how we are regulated, who we can allow into the program. at what income level they're at, because we're supposed to be helping people of less means. So the state then adopts the HUD income limit. So the first one, number 11, is for the Massachusetts Rental Voucher Program. Number 12 is for the Alternative Housing Voucher Program, which is another Massachusetts program. And then 13 is the HUD income limits. And it is for all our federal programs, both the public housing piece and the Section 8 piece. So I'll answer any questions.
Just for Tom Tebow, can we take these separately, or we have to do them all? Can we take them all together, or we have to do it separately?
Are they all the same numbers, Mr. Pluff? All right, why don't we do we'll do them separately. A motion to accept MRVP, then
I have one
Okay.
question.
no, they're all the same. So we could do a motion to approve MRVP, AHVP, and HUD income limits for 2025, and that would take care of all three of them, because they are all identical.
No, the only question I have is on the memo. Change the Department of Housing and Community Development.
EOHLC.
Yeah, that's their new name.
I would say Mrs. Rose used last year's memo. I will make sure to point that out to her so that next time it will be correct.
So I would, Mr. Chairman, alter the recommendation to be motion to approve the 2025 MRVP, AHVP,
Yeah.
and HUD income limits as presented.
Just so everybody knows that we're rolling item 11, 12, and 13 into one. So hold off on your questions and discussion on all three. And what was that change, Carol? You made?
In the memo, mistakenly, it was DHCD. It doesn't affect the vote, but it was
No.
DHCD as opposed to the new Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities, EOHLC. It was the old Department of Housing
Okay.
Development.
I'll say that amendment at the end then. So we need a motion and a second to approve items 11, 12, and 13 with the amendment.
So move.
Second.
Second.
A motion has been made by Commissioner Carol Roberts, seconded by Commissioner Taylor Harris. Motion is to approve the 2025 MRVP income limits. Motion is to approve the 2025 AHVP income limits. Motion is to approve the 2025 HUD income limits. Any questions or discussion on the motion? I'm just going to add that there is an amendment. The Department of Housing and Community Development, DHCD, has been changed to EOHLC.
And what does
Hearing
that
none,
stand
roll-
for again?
Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities.
Okay, thank you.
It doesn't roll off the tongue, does it?
It certainly does not. But I like the livable part.
Roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Harris,
Yes.
Commissioner Trask,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Just to add that it's for items 11, 12, and 13 with the amendment.
Thank you.
Item 14. Approval of change order number 1, fire alarm system replacement, Edwina Martin House, project 689-1, Exhibit K in your packets. Mr. Tebow?
If I could ask Mr. Barry to speak on this, please?
Thank you, Tebow. Good afternoon, board members. The change order one being presented to you for the Edwina Martin House Fire Alarm Project was due in part to just the urgency of putting the project out to bid. And you'll see there was a couple of devices that were missed through the design because the design has still not been completed yet. And they had been picked up in the meantime on the other projects when they went through on their final inspection. The dollar value is $1914.82, which is very, very reasonable for the devices that had to be changed out and added. We would recommend to accept change order number one in the amount of $1,914.82 from Jupiter Electric of 142B Lafayette Road, Salisbury, Mass. For the fire alarm system replacement project, Cap Hub 044099 at Edwina Martin House.
We need a motion and a second, item 14.
So moved?
Second.
A motion has been made by Commissioner Janet Trask, seconded by Commissioner Cal Roberts. Motion is to approve change order number one in the amount of $1,914.82 to the contract with Juniper Electric Incorporated of Salisbury, Mass. for the fire alarm system replacement at Edwina Martin House, Project 689-1. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Harris,
Yes.
Commissioner Trask,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries unanimous.
Thank you.
Item 15. Approval of certificate of substantial completion, fire alarm system replacement at Edwina Martin House, Project 689-1, Exhibit L in your packets. Mr. Tebow?
I could ask Mr. Barry to speak on this.
Thank you, Mr. Tebow. On April 11, 2025, our engineering firm Delta Y deemed the Jupiter Electric substantially complete for the work being performed on the installation of fire alarm system at 689 Edwina Martin House. A final inspection was performed and a punch list is attached. We would recommend to accept the certificate of substantial completion as of April 11, 2025 from Jupiter Electric Incorporated of 142B Lafayette Road, Salisbury, Mass. for the fire alarm system replacement project, Cap Hub 044099 at Edwina Martin House.
We need a motion and a second, item 15.
So moved.
Second?
A motion has been made by Commissioner Taylor Harris, seconded by Commissioner Janet Trask. Motion is to approve the certificate of substantial completion effective April 11th, 2025 to the contract with Jupiter Electric Incorporated of Salisbury, Mass. for the fire alarm system replacement at Edwina Martin House, Project 689-1. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Harris,
Yes.
Commissioner Trask,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries. Unanimous. Item 16. Approval of certificate of final completion, fire alarm system replacement at Edwina Martin House, Project 689-1, Exhibit M in your packets. Mr. Tebow?
I could ask Mr. Barry to speak on this also.
Mr. Tebow. Again, on April 11th, Delta Y, the engineering firm for the authority, has deemed Jupiter Electric complete for the fire alarm system installation at 689-1 Edwina Martin House, as per the plans and specifications that are dated February 25th, 2025. All required closeout documents, warranties, and as-built have been received, and all punch list items were complete. We would recommend accept the certificate of final completion as of April 11, 2025, from Jupiter Electric Incorporated from 142 Lafayette Road, Salisbury, Mass. For the fire alarm system replacement project cap of 044099 at 689 Edwina Martin House.
We need a motion and a second. Item 16.
So moved.
Second,
A motion has been made by Commissioner Taylor Harris, seconded by Commissioner Janet Trask. Motion is to approve the certificate of final completion effective April 11, 2025 to the contract with Juniper Electric Incorporated of Salisbury, Mass. For the fire alarm system replacement at Edwina Martin House, Project 689-1. Any questions or discussions on the motion? I just had one, Tom. Is that going to be reimbursed by the state for that money?
Yes, that's, it's actually under the, capital improvement plan, for, the housing authority.
good.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Harris,
Yes.
Commissioner Trask,
Yes,
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Item 17, award of contract, fire alarm system replacement, Hillside Village, Project 24-1, Exhibit N in your packets. Mr. Tebow?
If I could ask Mr. Barry to speak on this.
Thank you, Mr. Tebow. On March 19, 2025, capital improvements solicited for prime electrical contractors for the fire alarm replacement project at 24-1 Hillside Village. Then on April 3rd, a public online bid opening was held with 5 bids received, ranging from $638,000 to $1,382,103. After the bid opening, capital improvements, along with the authority's engineer, evaluated the bids received for completeness. Additional reference checks have been conducted on the apparent low bidder, Suburban Electric of 319 Canton Street, Stoughton, Mass. 02072, to which they have deemed responsive and responsible with a low bid amount of $638,000. We would recommend to award Suburban Electric of 319 Canton Street, Stoughton, Mass. the contract for the fire alarm replacement project at 24-1 Hillside Village in the amount of $638,000.
We need a motion and a second. Item 17.
so moved.
Second.
A motion has been made by Commissioner Janet Trask, seconded by Commissioner Taylor Harris. Motion is to award a contract in the amount of $638,000 to Suburban Electric of Stoughton, Mass. For the fire alarm system replacement at Hillside Village, Project 24-1. Any questions or discussion on the motion?
Yes, Kim, I second. It was me, Carol, not Kayla.
Oh, sorry. The motion was made by Commissioner Janet Trask, seconded by Commissioner Carol Roberts. Sorry, Taylor.
That's okay. I think I was on mute when I said second.
Hearing none, a roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Harris,
Yes.
Commissioner Trask,
Yes,
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Item 18. Approval of change order number 1, electrical upgrades, Manning Tower, Project 24-3, and Bel Air Tower, Project 24-10. Exhibit O in your packets. Mr. Tebow?
As you can see, Mr. Barry is going on his regular route here and taking over the meeting, so I'll ask him to speak on this item.
Thank you, Mr. Tebow. number of the unforeseen issues have, and/or I should say, national grid requirements have come up during the course of the project. We have requested change order proposals from the contractor, and you'll see there's five different ones on here. What has happened on, like, say, the first one was a circuit breaker that had to be removed from another circuit breaker. And the problem we always have is when we do these projects, there's 100 units here, so that multiplies something by 100 every time. So that's why our numbers get kind of high at times. Additionally, national grid requirements for oil containment. This was something that was not initially put to us. It was the first walkthrough after the signing of the contract. Again, so new codes popping up from the time that we actually went out to bid and the time that we awarded contracts. That was the number, change order proposal number 2. Again, this where it comes in, where we have 100 of these things happening to us, so the numbers seem to be high. Circuit breakers, again, for once we open up these panels and find out that years ago when they made adjustments or changes, they didn't do it to what we're required to do at this time. And lastly is the neutral cables. It was the change to a 3-phase. It was only running 3 cables. We needed an additional cable for each one of them. We have pushed them back and forth, make him look at his numbers, pull stuff out of it, and this is what we come down to. We would recommend to accept change order number 1, which is an increase in the contract amount of $68,828.94 from Systems Contract Incorporated of 7 Scobie Circle, Plymouth, Mass, for the 24-3 Manor Tower and 24-10 Bel Air High Rise Electrical Upgrade Project.
We need a motion and a second, item 18.
So moved.
Second,
A motion has been made by Commissioner Taylor Harris, seconded by Commissioner Janet Trask. Motion is to approve change order number 1 in the amount of $68,828.94 to the contract with Systems Contracting Incorporated of Plymouth, Mass, for the electrical upgrades at Manning Tower, Project 24-3, and Bel Air Tower, Project 24-10. Any questions or discussion on the motion? I just had one comment, Mr. Barry, that the 68,000 is really not bad with all them.
So I appreciate that. Again, it's just, it gets frustrating at times, so.
Mr. Barry does a very good job on negotiating when it comes to change orders, and will only do it if it's in the best interest of the housing authority. Obviously, in many instances, we don't have a lot of choice, but he still doesn't give the contractors carte blanche to charge us whatever they want. They have to prove the number is a good competitive number.
It shows right there with all them upgrades and this $68,000. That's not bad.
Thank you.
Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, Mr. Tebow.
Commissioner Harris,
Yes.
Commissioner Trask,
yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item
ma'am.
19, award of contract. Item 19, award of contract, cleaning services, vacant units, Exhibit P in your packets. Mr. Tebow?
If I could ask Mr. DeChristopher to speak on this, please?
On March 7th, 2025, the Maintenance Department issued a request for proposals for a 3-year contract with 3 qualified vendors to provide the authority with proposals for cleaning services for vacant VHA units. The proposals were reviewed by a 3-person panel that evaluated how they best met the evaluation criteria were graded as highly advantageous, advantageous, not advantageous, and unacceptable. The contract is to be awarded to the companies deemed highly advantageous. The RFP was advertised on Combine, Central Register, the Enterprise, and the BHA website. On April 3rd, 2025, the submission deadline, we received 10 proposals as listed in the attached scoring sheet. After the evaluations of the qualifications and after the fee was factored in, the review panel rated Stepco Cleaning of 882 South Franklin Street, Holbrook, Mass., Serv Pro of Providence, 490 Winthrop Street, Taunton, Mass., and GNS Cleaning of 863 Washington Street, Easton, Mass. Is highly advantageous. I recommend a motion to be made to award a 3-year contract for the cleaning of vacant BHE units not to exceed $50,000 per year. The duration of the contract to Stepco Cleaning of Holbrook, Serv Pro Providence of Taunton, and GNS Cleaning of Easton.
We need a motion and a second, item 19.
So moved.
Second,
A motion has been made by Commissioner Taylor Harris, seconded by Commissioner Janet Trask. Motion is to award a 3-year contract for the amount not to exceed $50,000 per year to Stepco Cleaning of Holbrook, Mass., Serv Pro Providence of Taunton, Mass., and GNS Cleaning of Easton, Mass. for cleaning of Brockton Housing Authority vacant units. Any questions or discussion on the motion?
a lot of cleaning companies around here.
I would say, Commissioner Trask, there are a lot of cleaning companies. There are not a lot of good cleaning companies.
Any other questions? Roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Harris,
Yes.
Commissioner Trask,
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Motion carries unanimous.
Thank you.
Item 20. Review of annual meeting outline of the day, Exhibit Q in your packets. Mr. Tebow?
So I simply put this into the packet to review the proceedings of the day, to see, if we could make some assignments here. I know, Mr. Chairman, you had volunteered to sing the national anthem. No.
Nice, Tim.
No.
No, I'm sorry. Do the Pledge of Allegiance and the introductions of the board and the elected officials. I don't know if there's anything else that the board members would like to participate in, but it's just a discussion for the board.
I just have one question on item 5. Does anybody have a problem with that election of officers?
Nope.
In other words, can it be submitted as written here today?
Why not?
That's fine.
Was that everybody? I couldn't tell.
Fine with me.
Yeah, it's okay.
Did you get that, Tom?
Yes, yep, absolutely.
Do we have to vote on this?
Excuse me?
Do we have to vote on this? Or
No, you'll vote on that the day of the meeting. That's the primary reason for the annual meeting is the realignment or the voting of the officers of the board.
okay. Item 21, new business. Is there any new business?
I have a couple of things I would like to share with the board under new business. You did skip over old business.
I was gonna do old business second.
Okay, let me just share some things. Yesterday, we lost the the long-term president of Bel Air High Rise and member of the Resident Advisory Board, and also an employee of the Housing Authority, John Froyo, who passed away after a lengthy illness, and will be missed by all. We also had a long-term resident who is the father of two of our staff members, Mr. Woods, who lived at Sullivan Towers, who was very, very well liked and respected there, and that's the reason why Mrs. Rose isn't here today. And then on another note, Mrs. Keating has injured herself. She has a separated shoulder and a broken shoulder, so she's has a substantial injury, and I don't know when she would be able to come back to work. She is actually seeing a surgeon on Friday.
That's too bad. Was she around at home?
She was on the golf course.
Wouldn't we know that?
She was on the golf course, and again, it was a serious injury. It was,
Oh, that's awful.
but so being the secretary of the board and providing the support, she's the one who puts these packets together. She's the one who does your minutes. She's the one who reports all of, so we, I'm working to get, you know, a sort of a bridge. We'll find out at the beginning of next week what her long-term prognosis will be.
Tom, as you know, I've had a couple of shoulder surgeries, and she's gonna be out for at least 6 months.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while. So again, I hope, the shoulders are complicated, and,
Yeah.
so hopefully they can, get her back up and on her feet and bring a golf club and supporting this board, as soon as possible.
Just for the record, that was item 22. I'm gonna go back to item 21, old business. Is there any old business? Hearing none. Item 23, adjournment. We need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second,
A motion has been made by Commissioner Taylor Harris, seconded by Commissioner Janet Trask. Any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Roll call, Mr. Tebow?
Commissioner Harris,
Yes.
Commissioner Trask,
yes.
Commissioner Roberts,
Yes.
and Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Meeting's adjourned.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.